What I'm trying to do here is illustrate to you some of the reasons why a Kreepy Krauly won't work properly. Most people, when a Kreepy Krauly doesn't work properly, believe that the main reason for it is the Kreepy Krauly itself. It's possible it is, but also don't forget the pump is what's driving it. So check the pump while the Kreepy Krauly is on the pipes and connected to the skimmer box, and see if it's totally full of water, or does it have a fair bit of air in it as well. Because whilst the Kreepy Krauly is running, the pump is working harder and it will suck in air. But if it looks right and everything, and you're looking for some areas, and it's an older one, you might find that over a period of time, while the hammer has been hammering away inside in here, that it's actually picked up the stone and can actually drive a stone through the wall. You might see some of the holes that's in here. We've actually made them a bit larger than what they normally are to illustrate. But they will, very small hole, and what happens is the water gets in here and goes up the pipe instead of activating the hammer as much as it should, and that'll slow it down. Sometimes the hammers actually break, but you'll notice that if it's broken easy enough by taking it out and checking it out, but you'll notice also, or you could notice here, through and suck in air, and up in here on the swivel, water can get in, not suck in air, suck in water, I mean, bypass the hammer. It will also suck in water here and bypass the hammer. So all these methods of bypassing the hammer means the hammer's not going to work properly. These wings can fall off, it'll still operate all right, because the wings are mainly there to guide the leaves into here and get sucked up into the skimmer box. This wearing sole, well, if it wears too far, well, these recesses in here will be narrower or shallower, and therefore that will suck onto the floor and the Kreepy Krauly won't move properly. And the skirts, will they wear? Make sure when you put them on the right way, which is, this is up. I've seen them where they've been like this, and if they're like that, this part here actually gouges into the wall and stops it from climbing the wall. One of the most important things about the Kreepy Krauly is that most people like it because it goes up the wall, cleans the wall, goes across the floor and up the wall. That's the reason for it to do this, or the reason that it has to do this, is because it loses balance when it gets up the wall, and then falls down and goes across the floor, up the wall, lose balance. Unfortunately, if there's steps between it, or a light or something like that, it can get caught on it. But this little item here, which a lot of people lose, it falls out, is meant to go in here and hold the flotation arm out a bit. Now that goes in here, and just clips in there and keeps it out. Now what it's doing is that when it goes up the wall, that float comes out and twists it and falls down. Without that in, the Kreepy Krauly will just continually go around and spend more time on the wall than on the floor. And as we all know, there is more dirt on the floor than there is on the wall. So all cleaners are meant to spend more time on the floor than the walls. So it's a very important part that you must attend to. Quite often when people bring them into the shop, they're missing, and they don't realise how important. As I'm talking about the gaps in here, so make sure that is always replaced. If you ever replace this, make sure you replace it quickly, because then if you don't replace it, then the next thing that this will be wearing, what it's designed to do is to sit there and wear so that this doesn't wear as much. If that wears, that won't wear as much. This is the expensive part, that's the more reasonable part. So make sure that you keep an eye on that there and get that one. Now this is a generic one, and this is an original. Really, the only way that you can tell the difference between the two is it's got Kreepy Krauly written on, it's got some date stamps. This one here has got no Kreepy Krauly written on it, no date stamps. As far as it's concerned, the flexibility and everything is very much similar, and it's half the price. So these are the older Mark V wings. You get with stainless steel screws hold them on, and this is the Marathon scoop that sits in the front, and that clips around and it goes like that, and this guides the leaves into the Kleena itself. It's for the Marathon. And this one is the Conquest, and that's with the wings again. These things wear here and they're meant to flap up and down, so that's got to be a weak part on them, and you're always replacing them. Then you've got your hammer, which can break and crack or wear, and that needs to be replaced well, when it's broken. And then your bumper strap, which is very necessary to protect the body of the Kleena. All right, so that's your part.
I'm just showing you some of the things that we have in stock here for the Kreepy Krauly. I've got most of the parts that you require to keep your Kreepy Krauly running healthy and well. We can't list them all on the internet for obvious reasons. There's just so many parts for the new, current and older models, but we try to stock most of them.